Leon Edwards is a famous MMA fighter that has won over 20 matches out of his boxing career. This is due to his immense training. It has not only made him an outstanding boxer, but has built him an aesthetic physique. Some say the most aesthetic physique out there. Here's how he does it. So when you watch those dad bod versus fit bod videos done by people like Jesse James West or others, most of the time these girls will pick a lean physique over overweight one. Strike one for body positivity. The most unappealing muscle on a man's body is his calves. Sorry boys, but focusing on the chest, abs, shoulders, and surprisingly the gluteus maximus will help you have the most appealing physique. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't train your calves, boys. Always train your calves. Alright, so for this video, I'm primarily going to be focusing on talking about the resistance training rather than the MMA routine. As a MMA athlete or just an athlete in general, there's this myth that resistance training makes you slow, which is completely not true. If done right, it can increase your athletic ability by increasing the speed, force, and durability of the body. Here are the exercises used by Leon Edwards to develop his physique. As I've stated in previous videos, in order to have a healthy physique, you can't just focus on one aspect of training because the lacking muscle groups will be pulled on by the stronger ones. For pulling movements, Leon Edwards does some sort of weighted chin-up and weighted row variation. You may notice that he does a lot of chest-supported rows. This is because over time, due to all of the training, his back becomes fatigued. Chest-supported rows allows him to work his back without overdoing it. Pulling strength is important for grappling, balance, having a balanced physique, and just to help build endurance for having the arms in front of the body. So for pushing, Leon Edwards does exercises within the horizontal and vertical plane of field to help build up strength for his fights, such as different bench press variations, overhead press variations, and landmine presses. It's important because it specifically allows him to be better at grappling, punching, and developing overall bodily strength. Leon Edwards does a lot of farmer carries to build that strength within the abs and grip strength to help with grappling. He also does sled pushes to help develop the power and strength within the lower body. Having that rotational strength is very important within MMA. In order to train this, Leon Edwards does mostly cable and banded exercises as well as some barbell variations explosively and medicine balls. Medicine balls are the best exercise when it comes to building rotational strength. Allows you to accelerate all the way throughout the movement without having to worry about deaccelerating at the end of the movement. Having a strong core plays a key role in punching speed and stability within this sport. Alright, so for the lower body, he does squats and lunges, helps to build the quads so that Leon Edwards can generate more force within the legs. As you may notice, a lot of times when he's working his legs, he's holding on to an object. This is to take out the stability portion of the movement so that he can focus on producing as much force for each rep. He's also doing Zerker squats. This is because it's the most sport specific. If you know anything about the set principle, specific adaptations and pose demands, you must be as specific as possible if you want to see progress. If you only do push-ups but neglect dips, you only get good at push-ups but not dips. But if you do both dips and push-ups, you'll become better at both. Doing a variety of simpler exercises versus one can help you build strength in all areas of movement. The trap bar deadlift is great exercise, great compound exercise that hits almost every muscle of the body. Especially the posterior train, because a lot of fighters focus on the anterior train because that's the position in which you're fighting in, but it's a weak link for a lot of individuals. Leon Edwards also does hinge and thrust exercises such as the kettlebell swing and others to help build strength and power within the lower body. Working this exercise helps with the grappling on the floor because it's similar to the bridging movement. In MMA, fighters don't do any jumping movements, but plyometrics can help build power for kicks and punches. Like the medicine ball, plyometrics causes you to accelerate throughout the movement without having to think about deaccelerating. So here are some techniques that Leon Edwards' coach Jonathan used to help Leon Edwards develop that aesthetic physique. So one thing he did use was bands and chains to help them accelerate during the bottom portion of the movement. This helps improve his power during his fights. Now I know a lot of people get power and strength confused. All that power really means is how fast you can move a weight. Whether that's your own weight or an object, it's the ability to generate lots of force to move an object as fast as possible. You may have noticed that all of these movements are compound movements. That's because training as an MMA fighter is all about functionality, not trying to have bigger muscles. This is key when it comes to having an athletic physique. Leon Edwards also trains something called isometric movements. All the isometric movements is basically where you're in a static position producing force, which means no movement is involved. This is useful during periods when he's trying to hold off an opponent or is on the ground. Now, the amount of time that Leon Edwards would spend on resistance training would depend on the season. During training camp, he would train 3 times a week and focus the rest of the time purely on skills such as boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and sumo wrestling. As of right now, he's training twice a week from Monday to Saturday. A great man or woman once said that abs aren't made in the gym but in the kitchen. Leon Edwards' diet consists of high-protein foods such as fish, chicken, rice, and veggies, and getting in that essential vitamins. Now, I know not everyone has the equipment to do this. Maybe you weren't born with a gym membership like Moa, But if you really want that Leon Edwards physique, you're going to have to start repping out those bodyweight weights. For example, instead of deadlifting, do the human deadlift. In all seriousness though, if you want to build the Leon Edwards physique without weights, you just have to do these exercises. For the upper body, when it comes to pushing, do push-ups and dips. For pulling, do pull-ups and rows. For abs, I'll do dead hangs, hollow body holds, hanging leg raises to develop strength for the abs and grip. And when it comes to rotation, you can practice shadow boxing or do a Russian twist with a punch on the ground or on a decline ab machine. That way you can add more resistance from gravity. So when it comes to plyometrics, all that plyometrics really means is jumping movements. There are a lot of easy substitutes that you could do. Jump squats, jump pistol squats, or just regular explosive squats to help build up the strength within the legs. Now when it comes to the legs, specifically for the hip thrust, you could do glute bridges. There are many different variations out there that you can use to specifically hit the hamstrings or butt more. Now the amount of time that Leon Edwards would spend on resistance training would depend on the season. During training camp, he would train 3 times a week and focus the rest of the time purely on skills such as boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and sumo wrestling. As of right now, he's training twice a week from Monday to Saturday. Alright, so if you want that Leon Edwards physique, you have to focus on functionality, doing combine exercises such as the weighted chin-up and bar deadlift. And if you can't do that, you just focus on calisthenic exercises to substitute those ones out to obtain that Leon Edwards physique. So if you watched to the end of the video, I want to say thank you. For the past 5 years, I've been doing calisthenics, and I think I'm going to do some online personal training. So if you're down for that, you can click the link below just to help you guys learn some calisthenic skills, some beginner calisthenic skills such as the pistol squat, elbow lever, and such, or to help increase your reps on basic calisthenic exercises. And whatever you do, don't hit your gains.